Greetings, greetings to our beautiful viewers. This is Unompilo Gumede, broadcasting in the dark because of load shedding, but I bring to you the most amazing author, international speaker, an amazing lady that I met through Usisku Gundlanzi. Her name is Felicia Goosen. She's got a powerful story, but today she's just gonna share with us women in business about taking care of ourselves, because we take care of everyone. We take care of our businesses, we take care of our families, we take care of our friends, we take care of everything else, and sometimes we forget to take good care of ourselves. So that's why I've invited Felicia to actually just help us navigate in our journey on how we can take good care of ourselves. Maybe before you speak, Felicia, we can just introduce ourselves just to know who is on the call and what is it that they do. When other people join later, I'll ask them to write in the chat. So as we have communicated before, this is Unompilo Gumede, and I'm the CEO of Women in Business, and I'm so happy to host you. I do not only run or lead Women in Business, but I'm also an accountant by profession. I am a director at WIB Business Solution. We give, we offer business solutions to small businesses so that they comply. We help them with their tax, with their financial statements, with their CIPC registration, with everything that a business needs to do. So if there are any businesses needing solutions, I'm the girl that deals with those solutions. I think that's it for now. Sis Kuku, can you please introduce yourself?
Okay, hello, afternoon. My name is Ukuku Dlazi. I am an independent psychometrist by profession. I know most people, they tend not to understand or know what is the independent psychometrist. I do psychometric assessments for recruitment and talent development. I also do the assessment for the scholastic assessment. I do the subject choices for grade 9s if you want to choose their subject for grade 10. I do their assessment and give them feedback as well. In a nutshell, that is me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thangi, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. Can you please confirm if you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thanks so much. My name is Thengiwe Ega. I'm a teacher by profession, but I left the classroom more than 10 years ago. I'm working for an organization called Kanyisa. I'm a project manager there. I'm mentoring teacher interns who study to become teachers at UNISA. I also work with in-service teachers. I'm responsible for their professional development, especially in the foundation phase. What else? I'm also in the church. My husband is a pastor, so I happen to be Umama Mfundisi, which means I also interact with church ladies and plan prayers and any other spiritual related activities. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Thengi. It's lovely to have you in the chat. Nokolo, can you unmute your mic and introduce yourself?
Good day, everybody. I hope you are great. My name is Nokolo Mbokoma. I am in East London. I studied here and I'm an East London girl. Then I moved to Cape Town to UWC to do my studies there. I did BCom. Thereafter, I started working in the financial services sector in the Western Cape. And after a good 25 years, we decided to come back to the home of the legends. Currently, I have my own business. It's called Siba Jolili Training Academy. I train on leadership. I train on financial wellness, customer services, entrepreneurship. I do a lot of coaching. I am also venturing into the logistics part of the game, which has been a little bit of a challenge. I've got a contract. Now I'm looking for 34-ton trucks and tippers, and it's been challenging because I have met a lot of people who are not authentic on the way, but giving up is not an option. I'm getting there. I'm gonna get this right. Thank you so much. That's me in a nutshell.
Wow, thank you so much, Notolo, for that introduction. See, Innocentia has joined the call. Innocentia, can you please introduce yourself?
Good evening, ladies. Good to be here. My name is Innocentia Pule. I'm a chartered accountant. I'm an independent consultant, something that I've been doing for the last 5 years, having been a CFO in the financial services sector, notably in for National Empowerment Fund and Nedbank Corporate. I do strategic financial advisory, and I do business coaching in my independent consulting work. I'm looking forward to the discussion tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I see Elsie is on the call, but I see your mic is not. Elsie, are you able to introduce yourself? If you are not able to, you can write on the chat and then I will read it out and then we will know exactly. Just tell us who you are and where you're joining us from, the name of your business, anything that you'd like us to know. But welcome to all of you, and it's so amazing to have all of you. And now I'll hand over to our beautiful author and international speaker, Felicia Goosen, to just share with us what is in her heart. And then afterwards, we can have a Q&A session. I've got load shedding on my side, hence I cannot open my video, but I'm looking forward to a wonderful time. Over to you, Felicia.
Thank you so much, Nompilo. Thank you for having me. And it's so nice to meet you ladies and everyone that's going to join as well. So I'm a youth wellness counselor and a confidence coach. And I am the CEO of and founder of FG Wellness, where we focus on youth mental health, youth teachers and parents. And we also believe in embracing you fully as a person and living in wholeness. And that's the direction of my talk today, is speaking on living in wholeness. And that links to self-care, because sometimes we think about self-care just about maybe, just taking time for me. I'm going to do my nails or spending time with my friends, but it's more than that. And I'm sure each and every one of you that are in business or leadership positions the past 3 years have been so difficult. Okay, I think Elsie is good now at connecting. There's just been so much going on, and in our personal life, in work life, in the world, so much has been happening. And many a times we find ourselves, just continuously working, taking care of family, trying to uphold your business, your leadership positions, and the people that you work with. So I really just want to focus on the importance of we focus a lot on interpersonal relationships, but not interpersonal relationships, meaning the relationship with ourselves. And that's where I want to link self-care to. Okay, so before I start, I just want us all to just think back and reflect on the years that has passed and just say, well done. Well done on getting so far on where you are. Well done on coming through, through all the challenges that you've been through. So I'm just going to take 2 minutes, actually maybe 3, just think about everything that you've been through the past 3 years and just say well done for your perseverance, for getting up, for pushing through. So I'm just going to give us 3 minutes. And after you've said well done, take a deep breath in for 3 seconds, exhale for 6 seconds, and do it 3 times. And when you're ready, please put a thumbs up. Okay. So it's really good just to reflect on what you've been through, because sometimes we just want to be like, okay, what's next? I need to just get up and run again, and not realizing what you've been through, because many times we neglect ourselves in so many ways and different areas of our life because we needed to push through in some aspects. We needed to just focus and stay ahead and get the things done that we had to have done. But in the season, there's a lot of burnout. There's a lot of stress. So many people are getting sick because of stress, of worry, because the brain is connected to our body. And many times we don't know why we're exhausted, why we struggle to get up every single day. And with my life and my experience, so my book is called Prison Child. It's my biography. And in the book, I speak about, the trauma that I went through as a child growing up, the thoughts I've had, the struggles I've had, and just constantly being that survival mode where you just survive and survive and you try to survive, and feels like everything you numb. You just want to focus on the next day moving forwards. Either you're stuck in the past or stuck in the future, but not being present. And my life went on like that for a long time. And it also filtered through my relationships, the way I thought about myself, the way I do business. So today I really want to speak about, especially the season that we've been through and the season that's ahead. There's a lot of things happening in the world around us. People are very stressed, people are very discouraged and feeling so hopeless. And in that, as leaders, and entrepreneurs, we still need to be creative. We still need to persevere to build. And how do we do that with taking care of ourselves? So the theme for tonight, and I thought it was so fitting, is arise and occupy. What does arise mean? Arise means to stand up. It means to start. And what does occupy mean? Is to take your place. And what do we need to arise? So I'm going to share 4 points for arising and occupying. So you cannot occupy anything if you do not arise, if you don't stand up. And how do we stand up, and how does this tie in with self-care? The first way to arise is to choose to heal. Many times we sweep so many things under the carpet because maybe running away from it, it's much easier. I ran away from a lot of things I had to deal with for so long, for so many years, and it just piled up and piled up and piled up. And sometimes we think it will just magically disappear, right? But our brains are divided into conscious and unconscious. And so many things are stored in our unconscious mind, and we think that, okay, it's buried, we're digging a hole and putting it all there and it will stay there. No, it will pop up somewhere in your life. And your unconscious contributes to 90 to 95% of your behavior. So sometimes we want to change the behavior, but we don't want, and we realizing why it's not working and why we're being so hard on ourselves. So it's really important to choose to heal. Maybe you've gone through things in your childhood. Maybe you've gone through difficulties. Maybe somebody broke your heart, or maybe whatever it is that you're still holding on to. Choose to heal. And choosing to heal is not easy at all. Sometimes that anger feels good. The disappointment feels good. Holding on to any unforgiveness feels good because maybe the other person is suffering, but no, we are. I've held on for so many years. I held on to unforgiveness because I needed to blame somebody for the pain I was going through. I carried so much on my shoulders. And if you just take time to think about, what are the things that you haven't dealt with in your life? What are the things that you are still just sweeping under the carpet or just sweeping away and you don't want to deal with it? Like, are you trying to avoid something and just putting it into your work or your family, or anything that you're doing extreme to ignore what you've gone through? So the first thing is to choose to heal. It's very, very important. And if you do struggle, reach out for counseling, reach out for help, speak to a friend, speak to your pastor, really take time to go through all of that. Second part is embrace yourself. So I'm big on embracing yourself, especially every part of who you are as a person, because sometimes we don't like our ears, as simple as that. And every time we look at our ears in the mirror, we dislike it. And telling yourself, oh, you ugly, or you stupid, or you deserve nothing in life, or you're not good enough. All of these things, we're basically telling ourselves, and we're telling God, you didn't do a good job. If we are an amazing creation, right? And how we've been created has been perfectly thought out, and we are our own person, and you're telling yourself that, like I told myself for so many years, Felicia, you're ugly. I hated my skin color. I hated my hair. I couldn't stand myself. I believed that I was a mistake. I didn't think I was worth anything. And when I even started my practice, when I started my business, I thought I was so underqualified. I thought, I can't make it. Who's going to want my services, who's going to. So it filters, the belief within yourself filters through everything around you. So it's important to embrace every part of you, but you cannot embrace if you don't go through the healing aspect of it, you know, and acknowledging that, listen, oh, I don't like my hair, or I don't like a part of my personality. Maybe I care too much for people and they're always hurting me. Let me rather just change myself. And it's through every aspect. When I speak about every aspect, I mean embracing yourself, like your emotional, mental state, your social environments, your environment that you're in, your physical, like your appearance, your body, your things that you've gone through in life, you know, embracing that. The third is to reclaim your voice. How do you reclaim your voice? Many times things make us silent. It can be somebody that doesn't want the best for you, or someone that keeps on saying negative things towards you, about you, or it can be someone silencing you at work, in maybe the industry you're in the leadership position you're in. So it's important to reclaim your voice. And how do you do that? It's you become vulnerable. You know, vulnerability is shunned on so much. We're not like it's considered as weakness. But when you are vulnerable, when you express yourself, you know, when you don't keep anything behind because you're embarrassed about maybe the way you laugh, or your opinion, or your viewpoint, you know, having a meeting and not sharing your viewpoint because maybe you feel no one will listen, or someone will undermine you, or people are undermining you. So those things can still our voice. And why is vulnerability important for our self-care? Because when we shut ourselves down, it does affect us. It affects our self-esteem. It affects the way we interact with people, and being social, and especially thriving in the environments where we want to be and we are placed in, and we shut ourselves down, we will feel very uncomfortable, very anxious in those environments as well. The fourth part is to reach out, be part of a community. Like this is a community where you're able to support one another, where you're able to build each other up. And that's really, really great. And it's to also give, you know, serve in communities. That's also part of being mentally healthy, is that you're able to give to communities, you know, serve where you want to give back, or where you want to build or partake in something where you feel very passionate about and you feel fulfilled. And having a community where you can speak about similar things you go through, and also make sure that you're in communities where you're not trying to fit in, but where you feel like you belong. Because when we try to fit in, we change who we are. When we belong, those around us help build and embrace who we are. So being in environments where you're trying to continuously fit in affects you as a person. And that's a big part of self-care, is the community you choose to be in. Make sure that you belong and not just try to fit in. And this is not speaking when you go to an event, right? And that's where embracing you comes in, is where you go to an event, which I will speak about occupying. Maybe you don't need to fit into those crowds, but then you need to embrace who you are. But community is speaking about those where you continuously around. And now it's occupy. How do you occupy? How do you take your place? And how does that link to self-care? So remember when I said you cannot occupy if you don't arise, right? If you do not build yourself, you know, heal from your past, build yourself as a person, embrace your vulnerability, embrace who you are, and reclaim your voice, you won't be able to occupy. So occupying is saying, I'm not going to allow my past to dictate my future. I'm not going to allow where I was born. I was born in prison. I'm not going to allow that to dictate where I'm going to be in the future. And why healing is important in arising is that if you do not heal from that, you won't be able to embrace your story in occupying. I wouldn't be able to be here right now speaking to you, able to publish my biography if I did not choose to heal from that. And now, how do I occupy? I'm using my story as a stepping stone, a place where I found healing, and using that and not being stuck in that. For a long time, I was stuck in, oh, I was born in prison. I don't want to think about that. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to tell people that. And I was continuously in a place where, oh, that happened to me. Why did that happen to me? Because many times we can be stuck in what happened to us. And that's why it's important to heal. So when we need to occupy, we don't allow anything to keep us back, especially things from the past. Okay. And the second point for occupying is embrace processing your feelings. Like right now, I'm vulnerable with you. I'm showing you that I'm a person. I go through things. I've gone through things, and so many of us, shut that part of us down because of maybe you were said you are weak or you're too emotional, or there's no place for emotions. Yes, we in ourselves, we emotional beings, right? We spiritual beings. It's a part of who we are, and if we suppress that, we will become numb. But if we over focus on that, we'll always make decisions out of emotions. So being vulnerable is, treating the next person like a person, like a human being, because we all go through, like everyone on this Zoom right now, we don't truly know what each of us are going through, right? And it's important to speak up. Vulnerability allows us to speak up, because how will someone know they're not alone? How will someone know that, oh, I'm also going through this, or that made me feel like that too? And it's not saying you have to share all your deepest, secrets and feelings. But to actually be you, be authentic, be who you are. And it's important to process when you go through something. It's important to reflect on it, process it, go through it. Don't sweep it under the carpet, because if you do, you occupying your space will be hindered. Third one, focus on the things that you can control and you can change. Many times our stress, our anxiety all come from things we cannot control. So if we put all of those things into things that we can control and we can change, and let go of the things we cannot control and cannot change, it will help us refocus. It will help us not make decisions based on emotions, which links to, like, stress is part of it. So why is important to firstly identify, okay, I am stressed right now. Okay, what's stressing me out? I have these deadlines. I have these decisions to make. Okay, what can I control? What can I not control? What can I change? What can I not change? Okay, I cannot change the suppliers that are taking long, but what can I can actually speak to my clients to say there's a delay, and I can send the necessary emails that I need to send. Sometimes we can be caught up in stress, and stress causes cardiovascular disease. It causes asthma. It causes diabetes. It causes strokes. It causes so many things, right? And majority of the time we're stressing for things that we cannot control. And then added stress leads to anxiety. Suppressed emotions dug under the carpet leads to anxiety, which then you're continuously anxious, then it leads to anxiety disorder, and then depression kicks in, and then so many things. It's a ripple effect. So why is it important to just stop and just ask yourself how you're doing and reflect on how you're feeling and decide what you can control, what you cannot control, what you can change, what you cannot change. Okay, and that's extremely important. And the fourth one is what's the fourth part of occupying? Is to believe that you have the power to choose your today. Many times, and especially what I really struggled with was rejection from my parents, rejection, and it just escalated the older I got, and I started rejecting myself, not feeling that I'm good enough, not loving myself, not thinking that I'm important, not believing that my dreams are possible, or even that happiness is possible, that joy is possible. And so it's important for you to occupy where you believe that you deserve to be there. You deserve to walk in this room right now. You deserve to be sitting at the table in this meeting. You deserve to have some fun. You deserve to spoil yourself because you worked so hard. You deserve to celebrate your small wins, your big wins, and to continue to dream. When we lose our dreams, it's hard to pursue, or it's hard to keep that fire going, and to realize that we have the power within us. We have everything that we need within us. But if you do not choose to heal in the arising, you won't be able to believe these things, especially when something's happened, as I explained, the rejection. If I didn't heal from the rejection, I would not have believed that so many things are possible, or that I am worthy of occupying this space. And I deserve to be here because I persevered, I worked hard, I put in the work. And when I speak, people are going to listen to me because I believe in what I'm saying. And it's important to live in purpose, to live in wholeness. So as I explained, wholeness is the holistic part of every part of ourselves. If we don't take time to sleep, get sufficient amount of sleep, it will affect us occupying. If we do not make sure that we eat healthy meals, that we actually eat on time and not starve ourselves or neglect ourselves. If we drink too much caffeine, how will that affect us? If you don't drink water, and socially, if you don't make time for those that you love, and make sure that on your rest time or time that you need, you're spending time with people who build you, not people that drain you, continuously drain you. And making time for something that you love, something that you do for you, because I really struggled with continuously giving to people, giving in my business, giving in my personal life, and then I would blame people, but I was neglecting myself, and so I make sure that I take 2 days, especially being in the counseling space, I take 2 days a week off. One day is my do nothing day. The other day is like, okay, what fun can I have? And I always thought that if I take a day off, I will lose money. But what I realized is that that money was always caught up somewhere in the rest. And I liked what Klingi said in the comments: authenticity attracts and is like a magnet, and so real and tangible. And that is being vulnerable. And that's what I'm being vulnerable with you. And authenticity attracts. I love that. And your environment, your home environment, make sure that it's a place where you want to come home to. Make it a place where you feel safe, where you feel, okay, after a long day's work, I can come in and rest. Physical, I spoke about it, and, taking time to exercise, eat healthy, sleep, drink some water, and your emotional and mental aspect is to reflect. Do not neglect your feelings. If I can tell you how emotions and feelings affect people, and maybe that's why they're not teaching it in schools, and we're trying to get it into allo classes, and we have like mentorship programs where we're trying to push prevention, is to rather let's educate you, and as young as you are, and so you can avoid so many things, so you don't have sweeping things under the carpet and you still have a locked door under it, and you still have safes under it. So it's really important to validate your feelings, and not only validate it, but process it. And spiritual, like in my journey, faith in God at a later stage in my life on my healing journey has been so important. So to believe in something bigger than yourself, it helps a lot to know that you have purpose, that you're not on earth by mistake, that every gift and talent within yourself is meant for you to utilize. And in closing, remember that there's only one you. There's no duplication of you anywhere. You can be in the same professions, and that's what I've learned, because at the beginning of starting the practice, as I spoke about the rejection and what I thought about myself, I realized that someone can be in the same profession. We can both be doctors, right? We can both be practicing in the same, let's say maybe it's travel. But we both practice differently, because my experiences is not like yours. Yours is not like mine. So embrace who you are. And that's the reclaiming your voice, is that you have something to say, you have something to give. There's only one you. Be you, take care of yourself. And we're not just supposed to be working and continuously burning ourselves out, or you're here to live in wholeness, meaning that integrating everything that you're doing and still doing what you love, still figuring all that out, because if we give so much to people, we will blame them. But it's to know that you are in control of what you give. You are in control of what you think about yourself. You are in control of all of that, because sometimes we think we are not. And you are in control to change your life today, right now, because I lived in self-pity for a long time. I felt so sorry for myself. And all that done was make me suffer, and especially like, why me? It's very valid. And that's why processing is very, very, very important. So that's what I want to like to encourage you, that take care of yourself by embracing you. And if you do struggle, so we do have an Embracing You workshop where we take women, especially, actually specifically it's for women, to take you through each and every step on embracing you. Because it's really, so go out there, take care of yourself in an holistic way and embrace you. And that's what I would like to leave you with. Make sure that you take care of yourself, and make sure that you arise and you occupy. And if you have children, know that kids learn through imitation. When you arise and when you occupy, they will imitate that. And everything around you, when you heal, everything around you heals. When you embrace you, everything around you embraces itself, like in your work, the things you do, the relationships you have, and vulnerability. When you become vulnerable, you give the next person permission to be vulnerable. And especially as leaders, running your own company or managing people, be careful to you need to heal, or else, remember I said unconscious, you will behave in a certain way. So if you do not heal, you might be transferring your trauma to those who you are leading. And when you choose to heal, productivity comes naturally. And to make sure that when you heal, those around you heal. So embrace you and take care of you by embracing you. And yes, thank you. Nompilo, over to you.
Wow, that was a mouthful. That was awesome. Thank you so much, Felicia. We are indeed models to our children. Elsie, I see your mic is now on. Can you please introduce yourself and then give a comment or ask Felicia a question? We'll let you go first because you couldn't talk in the beginning. Elsie, I see you've just written on the chat.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Felicia, our presenter for tonight. I'm so grateful to have joined the meeting. Very insightful for me. That's only what I can say. Very informative for me. And from today, I have a take home. I think I said in the comment section that my take home is, other than anything else, not excluding anything else, but I will embrace myself. Thank you, Felicia. Thank you, Shanta, for making us join this meeting. I hope and I trust that we'll continue having such informative sessions. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you
Elsie.
so much, Elsie. Where are you joining us from, Elsie?
I'm joining from Golden Sands, Cape Town. If not all of us are in Cape Town, I'm in Cape Town. Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for your insights.
Thank you.
Thank you. You know, the part about healing, Felicia, you were just sharing how important it is to heal because we don't want to transfer the trauma.
Right.
That was just my take home, and I feel so blessed to actually have been part of this meeting and embracing who we are and being vulnerable, because sometimes we scared that people will see that, and we have something called imposter syndrome as well.
Right.
So it's just a lot. I'd like to hand over to Innocentia. Her hand is up. You can go ahead, Innocentia.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Felicia, for this. I think I put it on the comment that I needed to hear this today. So there's a reason why I made time and pushed everything out of my diary to be here. So thanks for sharing. I don't know why you ever felt not gorgeous, because I was looking at your skin. I am such a fan. Two quick questions from me. As a counselor, do you believe there's a process that one should go through before reaching out for external assistance? And if so, what would that kind of process look like? And the second one is I personally struggle from presence. So once I've achieved something, it's always so what's next for me? And I never really pause to celebrate even the small and the big wins. If I look back in my achievements in life. So how would you advise one to really bring themselves back to themselves in the moment, especially just celebrating the small wins to really rev you up for bigger achievements? Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for those questions. So the first question is, there's no process at all. reach out today. And I think it's like some people, for example, some people's process is to get them to a place where they are ready. But I always tell people that there's never a time where you feel ready. It will always feel scary and uncomfortable. So reach out today, as soon as you can, no process. Your second question is, with that, it could be linked to a healing aspect, or because sometimes, or we could link to a certain reality. So for example, you need to ask yourself, where is your worth? Is your worth in your achievements? Is your worth in like being productive, performance? Because if it is, if you think about yourself, who are you without that? If that is linked to your worth, and if it is linked to your worth, you have to detach it from your worth, because you being good enough is not related to anything you achieve, is to related to what you think about yourself and who you think you are. That's where your worth is. Everything is just additional. So what you can also do is, in the small things, learn to celebrate it. In, let's say, there's something you got wrong, and it also could link to maybe you were raised performance-based. So if you do struggle to change it, you will have to reach out for help to help you, because I think coaching would also help with that. So every day, in the small things, pause to celebrate. And when you feel, so it also depends on the feelings you feel. Do you feel bad, or do you feel like, you can't celebrate? I think this, like, my counseling brain is just going haywire. So those are the two things I could say. Ask yourself, what is your worth linked to? And then the second one is, in every small thing, celebrate in the small wins. Getting up in the morning, getting something right at work, or just having fun is a big win if you struggle. I hope that answers your question.
That helps a lot. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Tandazi Lenene, I see you've joined us later in the meeting. Do you want to greet and introduce yourself and your business, or maybe if you have a question for Felicia? Tanda?
Oh, hi. I'm really sorry for being very late to the meeting. My network wasn't very good. I like to greet everyone. Hi, my name is Tanda. I work for my brother who has a salon, and he's teaching me a lot about business. So yes, that's what I can say for now. And I'm really enjoying what I'm listening to today. I'm learning a lot, even though I just came in late.
Don't worry, Tanda, there'll be a recording. I'll post it on the group. Thank you so much for joining us. Felicia, I wanted to comment as well. You are such a gorgeous human being. You are beautiful. Like, I've been going through your Instagram, and but I'd like to know more about your book. How can we get hold of your book?
Okay, so my book, you can buy it from FG Wellness if you would like it personalized. So we will courier to you, but at your closest exclusive books. So it's called Prison Child. This is how it looks like. So it's called Prison Child, and you can get it at any exclusive books, Bargain Books, Kum Books, PNA. I think Take a Lot has it as well. And something called Loot online, and it's on Amazon ebook as well. So you can get it there. So my story really just focuses on my journey and just the thoughts, my suicidal attempts. I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder, anxiety disorder. I had chronic ulcers. I had chronic pain. I self-harm a lot. I was an alcoholic. Yes, so it speaks about how I got to that point, my feelings about, being an orphan, being fostered, just that rejection and my journey and just how it escalated as a teen and all my reckless decisions and my turnaround and my healing journey and how that looked like, and just speaking about mental illness, mental health, and just realizing that just a message that you are not alone, reach out. We're losing so many young people, and youth is until the age of 35. So we're losing a lot of people between 19 and 29 years old as well from suicide. And mental illness is on the rise. Burnout is on the rise. And I think also something that I want to share in the group that I'm not sure if you're familiar with, is compassion fatigue, especially if you are in the industry when you're continuously working on people, working with people. Compassion fatigue is actually worse than burnout, because it's like secondary trauma. Just keep holding every people's emotions on you. So be careful of that, and reflection will help with that as well. So that's where you can get the book, and that's what my story is about. I'm an advocate for mental health and living in wholeness. So that's where you'll get it, and it's where I share my story and also promote vulnerability and healing. That was a mouthful, but that's where you can get it.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad that we're actually having you today, because these days as women, sometimes we end up not telling the truth. We just try and cover everything, like put makeup on everything so that it looks nice. But you are here being authentic and being vulnerable. You are actually making us feel whole by you being vulnerable. Thangi, I see you are writing on the chat. Do you want to speak to Felicia?
Felicia, thank you so much. It's been amazing. I really needed to hear everything that you shared with us today. My question is, how do I keep balance between dominating the space, overpowering the space, while I'm in the process of reclaiming my voice? When now I'm now too dominant for everyone because I'm like reclaiming my voice.
Okay, so it depends how you're reclaiming your voice. So we can reclaim our voice in a very pushy or domineering way, or you can reclaim your voice from so remember where it's first you need to choose to heal to reclaim your voice. So choosing to heal first, because when we try to reclaim our voice, because it needs to come naturally, in a sense. Yeah, or if it's not natural, it will become like, then people will basically push against you. It's basically embracing you, being yourself in places where you don't need to prove yourself to anybody. You don't need to, because you understand who you are, you understand your voice, and those who will hear will hear. And those, especially if you're in a specific position, is, you'll always get people who are weak, always fights against you. Yeah, but that's basically what I just say, is that make sure that you've healed in that place where you're reclaiming.
Thank you.
And am I answering or am I way off?
You have answered me. Thanks so much.
Okay, it's a pleasure. And affirmations work as well, especially that you're between the two. So write down a list of affirmations like, you know, I love who I am. You know, I am good in A, B, and C. My voice deserves to be heard. Things like that. And I think in general, we all know when someone comes from a place of a healed place and someone that does not come from a healed place. So people can pick it up. But healing speaks louder than trying to prove to somebody that you are healed or healing. We're always on a healing journey.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
This was so amazing. Do we have another question? How do I balance achieving anything without, oh, this from Elsie. How do I balance not achieving anything, but still feel good about myself?
How do I balance not achieving anything, still feel good about yourself? I think Elsie, my understanding, right? What do you mean by not achieving anything?
Hi, Felicia. I'm just, as I'm listening and trying to assimilate whatever has been said here, and I'm just thinking of somebody who has not achieved anything yet. They might have a dream of achieving ABC, but that dream is not coming through. And I believe, and I'm one of those people that believe that achieving something, that's one of the things that make you feel good about yourself. So how do I still maintain my worth, still embrace myself, and yet I don't achieve like anything that has been my dream? Not actually saying I haven't achieved anything personally, but how do I balance that I don't get to the goal I wanted to get to, but I still feel good about myself? How do I become strong in that?
Okay, so I think the first point is, remember I mentioned that you cannot base your worth on achievements, on anything that's outside of who you are.
Okay.
You being enough is the way you think about yourself and the way you define who you are.
Okay.
And then with the achievements, I think, and that's where it is, when you align your worth to who you are and not to what you achieve or what you define achievement as, which is also important. Just know what achievement means to you and what you define it as, because it's highly impossible that you have not achieved anything in life up until now, right?
Right. True.
Yes.
True.
So it's basically acknowledging the process, because sometimes it's in the waiting and the process. So the process should not impact our self-esteem. It should not impact your self-worth or make you feel, and that's why goals and dreams is there, because we continuously pursuing it. And you'll find it easier when you don't match your self-worth, because, and then every day is like, oh, I'm not getting to this. I feel terrible about myself. And how do you get the energy to keep on going if it's identified with who you are? It gets tiring, right?
Okay. I hear you. I hear you. Thank you. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
I hear you as well. And that affirmation, I am enough. Because sometimes we feel like even after doing the biggest things, everyone is saying, well done, you're doing excellent work. We still tell ourselves that it's not enough. And we never know when enough is enough. I see Cindy has joined us on the chat. Cindy, can you greet us and tell us about your business, who you are, what you do? And if you have any questions for Felicia or any comments. Cindy, we are having load shedding in Maritzburg. Google, do you have anything to say? Oh, Theng has got another question. Okay, Theng, you can go and then we'll go to Google.
Right. This is the last question for me. Felicia, I'm sure you can see how excited I am. My last question is about consistency. I'm really excited about the information I'm taking away, and I'm so looking forward to try out some of the things that are my challenges. But I know that, you know, you get excited about something, and then over time, and then things just get on the way, and you off track. You're no longer as excited as you've been, and you're no longer going according to the plans that you have drafted for yourself. So it's about consistency. Any tips you'd like to share?
Okay. Is it consistency in everything in your life?
Consistency in most of the things, especially personal development.
Okay.
Let me make an example where you are on a you set out a plan for yourself to be active, exercise, and then you do that 3 months, and after 3 months, it falls off. Yeah.
Okay.
One
I think
one example.
okay.
I
I
I
think
really want to get it right. You know, let me say this time, because especially that point on embracing yourself and embracing where you are. I think it's really important, because as you embrace yourself, that is where you actually also realize your self-worth and what it means for you and so forth. But in terms of consistency and following through with things that you need to follow for you to grow in that area, I think that's my biggest challenge.
okay. So I'm gonna ask you a personal question, but you can let me know if you're comfortable or not. You don't need to answer, especially
Right.
with everyone. So do you feel that you are important as a person?
I do.
Okay. And do you feel that everything that you want to do, does it have like a reason or a point? Like, why do you want to exercise? Why do you want to have this goal? What is your why in it?
I think I do have my whys. Yes, I do have my whys
Okay.
articulated, and I think I do a lot of analysis in my heart, in my whys as well.
Okay. And if you do a lot of analysis, are you a systematic person? Are you very structured?
I
Or-
am structured. I am structured.
Okay, does things need to make complete sense before you can start?
Definitely.
Okay, that's one of the problems. You'll have to start even though things are not all together, and that makes sense. You'll have to figure it out as you go.
Yeah, it has to make sense before we start. Making it, when they make sense, it's my inspiration to start to start.
Yeah, you'll wait for a very long time. You'll wait for a very long, that just could be a personality trait. So do it, even those things don't line up, know that you will learn as you go. Because even if it does make sense in your mind, you'll still have to learn as you go. And then it will throw you completely off because it didn't go as you planned. It should go.
Hmm, hmm.
Right?
I
It's
yeah,
zigzag.
hmm.
So you'll just have to start. And remember that's in your control. How it works out is not in your control, because we can plan something like linear, but it never works out like that. So it's to actually train yourself to start, even though you don't have all the dots in place. Being and I would encourage you to do like a personality assessment. We do like a temperament one that you can actually do. And I think there's ones online as well. But it's also good to have someone to elaborate and help you go through it. So start even though you're not ready mentally. And then the other thing is also start small. And remember that, remember I said 95%, 90 to 95% of your behavior comes from your unconscious mind. Also see if it's a mindset shift that you need to do first.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. And maybe also write down, especially if you're very analytical in your mind, write it down. Vision boards help. So you can, keep track, because I'm not sure if you're a person that, okay, you on to the next idea continuously and you don't follow through with it, because things need to first make a lot of sense.
Thanks. I think I've got the key.
Okay, it's a pleasure.
Wow, I'm so glad that we're getting our keys. More than this being a self-care session, I think it's also a healing session. When this session started, I was feeling heavy, but now I'm feeling lighter because I'm embracing myself, embracing the current moment, and thinking networking with people like Ukuku has helped me get hold of you. This is like so amazing for me. I'd like to read the comments saying, "Hi everyone, I'm HR consultant and my business is Infinity HR Consulting. No questions." That's from Cindy at the moment. And there's another comment from Elsie. Is it Elsie? Klengi. Okay, can you please unmute? I cannot, everything is just slow because of load shedding. Also, sorry, I didn't introduce myself. I don't own a business yet. I'm looking forward to such. I'm an educator. Oh, that's Elsie. I'm an educator by profession, currently in the education and training industry, striving to register my company. Elsie, when you want to register your company, I'm the lady that will help you with that. So let's keep in contact. Nokolo has her hand up. You can go ahead, Nokolo.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Mine is a comment. Felicia, thank you so much. This has been very productive, very fruitful for me. I want to think that a person who's kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm an overachiever, So if I've planned something and it doesn't go that way, I kind of get disappointed quickly. But you have taught me something to arise and occupy. Thank you so much, Felicia.
It's a pleasure. And just to add, so I really struggled with that as well. And I had to reframe my mind. So what I reframed it with is understanding that there's no failure, there's only feedback. You know, we actually never fail. We only get feedback from what we just tried. It's like the guy that designed the light bulbs. I think over 1,000 tries or 10,000, I don't remember, to achieve the light bulbs we have in our homes. You know, we're so hard on ourselves because how else do we learn, right? Is that just take it as feedback to say, okay, this didn't work out. Let me try A, B, and C, and D. And when I also took that approach, it was much, much easier because I would, I'm not, and I think this is also very, very important. I'll just throw it out there, is the mindset or the thought about let me rather expect the worst so I'm not disappointed when it happens. Please raise your hand if you ever thought like that or you think like that. Like I really, for a long time, you know, it was, I would rather think of the worst possible solution or thing that could happen, or I would expect disappointment to not be fully disappointed. But what that does is rather be hopeful, right? And trust yourself that you will be able to deal with that, like the feedback thing. It will be a feedback and I will be able to work through it. Because what we do is, let's say we're hoping for the worst of a project that we will only find out in a month's time. For 30 days, you are stressed, you are thinking the worst, you are negative, coming up to that point. And when you get it and it's actually good, that means 30 days of your life. And the stress you put on your body is actually, whew, it's time gone that you'll never get back. And then if you do get a good news and then you're on to the next thing again, and then you completely forget, then it's a cycle. But then also if you don't get a good result, those 30 days does not prepare you for that. So rather aim for being hopeful, expecting more, you know, speaking words of affirmation, you know, speaking, because also our words are powerful, you know, rather believe in a good result than expect for the worst to happen so you don't get disappointed. Disappointment is an emotion, same like sadness, anger. And the more you process your feelings and emotions, the more you'll be able to process it in that moment about how you feel and not sweeping it under the carpet. Because avoiding it, we try to avoid it. That's why we just want to hope for the worst.
Thank you, Felicia.
Thank you
It's a
so
pleasure.
much. Wow. I see Cindy has written, wow, that's profound. No failure, only feedback. I'm taking that point home. And Elsie has written, Santa, thank you for introducing me to this. So we have these coffee and conversations every month, and they normally take an hour. I see we've gone over an hour because I just don't want to be the reason why we do not heal. You know, when you made us breathe in and out in that 3 minutes, I felt it because I'm that one person who has a to-do list. And when I finish one thing, I'm like, what's next? And I don't take time to breathe in and say, well done, Nompilo, you've done that well. Because affirmation shouldn't come from the outside. It must also come from the inside that, girl, you did your best. And even when people like sometimes even congratulate you. Like, I know the previous CEO normally writes me messages every time after a newsletter and saying, well done, excellent, you're doing amazing work, you know. And I'll be like, oops, you know, then what's next? I won't sit there and breathe in and say, wow, maybe she is right. Not even maybe, and actually believe that she is right. Because if someone were to tell me something negative, then I'll just believe it because I'm human. I don't want us to leave this chat without Kuku saying something. Kuku, thank you so much for connecting me to this wonderful, beautiful, wise lady, Felicia. I'd like you to say something before we close the session.
Okay, thanks, Nompilo. No, for me, really, it was a wow. Felicia mentioned something about that we're always on a fighting mode. And we always be on a fighting mode, and challenges of life really disturb us. We can't even sit down and do the introspection. We can't even sit down and just zoom in on our whys. So really, I was grateful because it was just a revival or a reminder of that. You know what, Gugu, you are grateful. You know what, Gugu, you are the best. And it really helped me to just, it was like a wake up call, and just to unmute my whys, because each and every time I'm busy. And Felicia used to say, Gugu, on Mondays, I take Mondays my leave day. I'm still battling on that one. I work nonstop. I can't even take leave. It's unlike while I was still employed, but really, I was grateful. This session really helped me. Not that most of the things we don't know, we do know, but because of this busy life, because of this fighting mode, we even forgot just to pause and remember who we are. Thanks, Dompila.
Thank you, Gugu. And I must say, Gugu inspires me so much. Just her story and the person she is, always giving to the community and making time for everyone. Like, I really appreciate you, and you mean a lot to me. And I got to meet you in Freedom at Marisburg, when was it, last year?
Yes. Yeah, last year.
So
yeah.
So thank you so much for that. And that's very important. We're not created to survive. We created to thrive, you know. So
Yeah.
to really thrive, because we deserve to live, like to really live life. Yeah, but thank you so much.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Nampila.
Thank you so much, ladies. We are created to thrive, not only to survive, because really sometimes we live with that survival mentality. Like, if I can just go through this day, then I'll be fine. But if we're thriving, then it's a different story altogether. If there are no further questions, I'd like to just express my gratitude to you, Felicia. It was not the last time of us engaging. I'm definitely sure that in our future engagements as women in business, we will like to further engage with you. And maybe just an idea, you can come launch your book in Maritzburg. But I'm gonna go get mine at Exclusive Books, and I'm gonna send you a picture with it. I'm probably going to do a small video as well, because it's been such an insightful night. You know, one of those nights where you gain something that will help you for the journey ahead. I've got a comment from Tanda there saying, I've learned so much tonight. Thank you so much. Created to thrive, not to survive. I love this. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you so much, Nokolo, for those wise words. Thank you so much to all of you who could join during this busy time. You know, sometimes we're so busy, we cannot even take time out for ourselves. I'm so glad that I took time out today and joined and hosted this meeting, because it was not only giving to me, but I'm sure it has added value to you guys. And I'm just so happy that we could meet in this fashion, even though there's no power in Pietermaritzburg, but hey, we win anyway. No load shedding formed against us shall prosper. I'm really feeling so refreshed. I'm feeling revived. I'm feeling ready to run and ready to do everything that God has called me to do in this season of my life. Felicia, you're such a blessing. May God continue to richly bless you. continue inspiring people that you meet and continue shining and continue healing people. I feel healed, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to what God is going to do to you and to all of us. And it's been an amazing, amazing meeting. Thank you so much, ladies.
Amen.
good
Thank you so
evening.
much, Nompilo, for having me.
Thank
Thank you, ladies. Have a good night, and let's take a deep breath in before we say goodbye. Whew. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thanks, Felicia. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. I'll send you the
Thank
link.
you, ladies.
Thank you, Noxolo.
Good night, everybody.
Good
night.
night.
Night.